So One UI 9 based on Android 17 is the next big update coming to Samsung phones. And weirdly enough, we're only a couple of months away from it, even though plenty of Samsung phones still haven't received One UI 8.5. Still, Samsung is already moving ahead, and these are 15 of the biggest changes coming with One UI 9. First up is a feature Samsung is kinda borrowing from Apple. It's called Tap to Share. Basically, you just hold the top of your phone near another device and the file gets sent instantly. It's built right into Quick Share and uses NFC. And unlike Apple's version, this isn't only for sharing contact cards, you can share basically anything. The funny part is Samsung actually had this feature 13 years ago. It was called S-Beam at that time. So technically, Samsung isn't copying Apple here, they're basically copying themselves. One UI 9 is also changing the music player on the lock screen. Now when the music is playing, the progress bar gets this colorful waveform animation that reacts to the song. It honestly looks much cleaner now. The same effect also shows up in the now bar at the bottom, and the now bar itself is getting a darker background. Samsung is also cleaning up the About Phone page in settings. Right now there is this giant picture of your phone taking up half of the screen for absolutely no reason. In One UI 9, that image is much smaller and moved to the top corner. Next, Samsung's built-in photo editor is also getting smarter. There are now floating AI suggestion buttons above the normal editing tools. Depending on the photo, it can suggest things like removing distractions, fixing colors, or cleaning up the image without you having to dig through a bunch of menus. Even the search bar in settings is changing. Now when you open or close it, it has this softer elastic style animation instead of the boring stiff one we have now. Some of Samsung widgets are also getting slightly more squared off corners instead of the super rounded look we have right now. And you'll probably be able to adjust the corner radius yourself if you hate the new look. One of the more useful changes with One UI 9 is in the Gallery app. When you select multiple photos, a new little box appears showing everything you've selected. Every image you tap gets added into that box, so you don't have to keep scrolling around wondering which ones you already picked. Apparently it can hold up to 15 photos. Samsung Internet is getting a feature called Smart Shopping. It can automatically look for coupon codes and apply them at checkout with one tap. The coupons are based on the website you're on, what's in your cart, and even your country. And if this actually works properly and doesn't just give you a random expired coupon from 2019, it could be genuinely useful. Samsung Internet is also finally getting the Ask AI button that we were supposed to get with the S26 Ultra and One UI 8.5. Basically, you can ask questions about the web page you're looking at without leaving the browser. Now Brief is getting updated too. The colors are brighter now and will better match or contrast with your wallpaper. And instead of only showing today's weather, it can now show a full weekly forecast. This is probably one of the best changes in the entire update. Right now, if one person keeps spamming you with calls or messages, your only options are to either block them completely or mute the entire app. So if one guy keeps sending you "hey" every 14 seconds, you end up muting the whole messaging app just to escape him. One UI 9 finally fixes that. You'll be able to mute calls or notifications from one specific person without affecting everyone else. And it works the other way too. If there's someone important whose notifications you never want to miss, you can make their alerts stand out more. Honestly, this should have existed years ago. Samsung may also add a new app called Warranty and Care. Instead of digging through old emails, receipts, and support pages every time something breaks, this app would put everything in one place. You'll apparently be able to check your warranty, estimated repair costs, book a repair, and track it right from your phone. Samsung still hasn't officially confirmed which devices are getting One UI 9, but based on Samsung's update policy, these are the Galaxy phones and tablets that should get the new software. The Z Fold 8 is expected to be the first phone to launch with the stable version in July, and the beta could show up on the S26 lineup as early as next month. So those are the 15 biggest One UI 9 changes we know about so far. And since the software is still being developed, Samsung will almost definitely add even more stuff before the final version comes out. By the way, Samsung is currently giving a straight $400 off the Z Fold 7 or up to $300 off the S26 Ultra. If you're interested, the link is down in the description. And speaking of the Z Fold 8, we also have some new details on the next Unpacked event and the Z Fold 8 Wide. Click here to know more, and I'll see you there.